Well, I'm going to pass on that. It's wet. I just don't feel like crawling around my hands and knees. You're going to have to crawl around your hands and knees. And, yeah, I'll do that on a dry day, not on a wet day. So, once again, it's a wet day. All the dogs are walking around. So I'm going to pass on it. That's nothing radical, but it's a little project. Everything's always a little project. So what do you go to next, right? Here's the thing on the Ice Age TV. Now that a guy's calling me Chatty Cathy, yeah. But it's good. I mean, the thing is, when I start having people reach out and make comments, that tells me now my channel is getting more exposure, more interaction. So even though as a creator you don't want to hear the negativity, but the reality is I'm not going to make everybody happy. And that's just the way it is. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're a professional football player, when you show up to play in your own home team stadium, probably 2/3 to 3/4 of the people are rooting for you. There's going to be probably 1/4 that don't root for you. You go to the opposing team stadium, and most likely 3/4 of people will be rooting against you. So it's no different when you become a social media presence that people are going to be critical of who you are and what you do. And some people think that I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't really, for the record, I haven't really had a lot of criticism on my channel. I've had it, but it's not radical. It's not like every video I post, people get nasty. So for me, it is what it is. I understand those that think my channel have great stuff and those that think not so much. And what I really noticed, like on X, is the two brothers, Ed and Brian, they post so much crap all day long. And they get attacked all day long. But they're smart. These brothers are smart because they deliberately antagonize people to interact on their channel, to argue with them, which creates viewership, which creates monies for them to make. And that's the thing about social media is, whether you realize it or not, there's a lot of people out there that deliberately antagonize you just so that you interact with them. And for those brothers, they really do get attacked pretty bad. I mean, it's pretty ruthless. But I can promise you, these guys are making 10, 20 grand a month. And so they step back and say, what's the difference in me being a boxer and me getting beat up every time I go in the boxing ring, but I still get my paycheck? And that's kind of what goes on, I think, more than ever in social media. People deliberately post stuff and they want people to attack them so they get interaction with others. And that really hasn't been my desire, my channel. My desire, my channel has been to show you all the cars and trucks and motorcycles and everything else. And it just blows me away on how those tons and tons of videos, they don't really get much interaction. I'm getting more interaction now than ever on my channel of just me being me and me just trying to create conversations with, as the one commenter says, you interact with your YouTube viewers on how you talk to them. But that's gotten more interaction than me going out and buying a motorcycle and then sharing with you the adventure of buying a motorcycle, then sharing with you the adventure of owning the motorcycle, then sharing the adventure of me doing something to the motorcycle. I really haven't gotten much back out of that. So as my channel is kind of changing because of, as you know, but the irony is, had you not even known who I was and you saw my channel first time, you'd be blown away about how much stuff I have. Versus now, the more the conversation is how much stuff I lost. And that for that I'm a loser, I've made bad decisions, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so what? I made bad decisions. You don't think I can recover from my bad decisions? So you really think I'm the guy that's just going to lay down and put my thumb in my mouth and cry like a little baby? That's who you think I am? Well, good luck. That's not who I am. So I just share all because the reality is I know that I will prevail yet another day. It'll take time. It takes time. And that's why I've kept my channel going. I've told people over and over again on my channel on how it'd be so easy last summer just to turn off the channel, just to turn it off in so many ways and not share with you the hardships that I'm going to go through. And then we continue to portray, look at me, look at me, look at me. And so it's just kind of, I love how there's individuals out there that really do follow the channel and interact, and they make the comments, oh, well, you know, you failed. You made stupid decisions. I bet you've made stupid decisions too, but it doesn't matter. That's fine. We all make stupid decisions. That's just who we are. We're just human beings. We all have a vice. And if you're bigger and better than me, God bless you, and I'm glad you're bigger and better than me. My goal is not to be on my channel to make it sound like I'm bigger and better than you. I never wanted that, and that's one reason I didn't really want to do social media, because I knew it was very easy to portray that I'm bigger and better than you because I have all these fancy cars and trucks. And I always talked about that for years and years and years. I really don't want to expose myself because I think too many people will start looking at me as I'm just this rich-ass guy that just landed a pot of money. I never worked for it. I was just given the money, and this just all fell in my lap. Versus you're really seeing the real story of how hard I've worked to try to attain all these things, keep these things, and then build a social media channel of my fun and my life. But then the narrative now is, you failed. Well, if you never failed, then you never tried. So if you're telling me you've never failed, then I don't believe you've ever tried to your highest level of trying. We all can wear a security blanket. I could have very easily never gone to social media. I could have very easily just stayed a very simple life. Easy just made a very simple life and not tried to live to what I wanted to live to the max, which I've done. But at the same time, you've seen that in so many ways I've failed to the max. But the story ain't over yet. But I continue to like to talk to you guys, bring content, bring stories, and that won't stop. It's not going to stop. I mean, so for me, and you like to watch my channel, I appreciate that. Share my channel. Why don't you share my channel with others? Say, go to this guy's channel and see how crazy he is. If you want to feel better about yourself, go to this guy's channel, because then you can say, see, I proved this guy would not succeed. I'm sure people behind the scenes will say 2-3 years ago, this guy will never make it. There's no way this guy can sustain this lifestyle he has, and he's going to fall flat in his face. And that's good conversation, because you can say, see, I told you so. I told you, everybody, this is how it play out. That's awesome. My wife tells me that. Am I still married to her? I am. You don't think I get the punches and slapped around from the wife of what I've created? You don't think I hear this? You don't think I've heard that I should just stop doing this? Just shut it down and quit? Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories in my lifetime. Only things to give up and quit. But that's just not who I am. So I'm enjoying it, or am I? Where's the dog? Here it is now. And all I have to do is go out here and turn on this four-wheeler. And they will come back. They're most likely down here. They're usually in the field. They're usually across the way in the field or in the back 40. So they're now in the back 40 chasing the deer. But I don't think they've gotten through. If they've gotten through, then I got a whole other project. Because that now means the dogs have figured a way to get the other side of the property, but they haven't yet. There's good old Diesel boy. Come on, Diesel. Here's the pool. Now, next week will be pool time, because we're going to go from this really chilly, cold weather to the 80s. Yeah, 80s and probably 90 degrees. So summer really here, to change the season on our doorstep. And it's just, like right now I could bring the tractor in and change the oil on that, but it's just a rainy, nasty, gloomy day. Tomorrow's supposed to clear up. So the good news is we got some sunshine coming, and that's when I'll do an oil change on that. I really need to clean this whole little fiasco up, but it's all about getting motivated and spending time doing that, which I just don't feel like doing. I'm just going to chill out, enjoy the afternoon with the puppies, and once again, it'd be neat to do a project. And I did call my good friend John at Dulles Motorcycles of Dulles, and he had no idea. I mean, most of my friends, well, most people don't watch my channel. There's just a select few that watch my channel and watch the series. But I called my friend John, who's the owner of Motorcycles of Dulles, and I told him what was going on, and he's like, wow, damn, holy crap. He's like, no, I had no idea that was going on. I say, can you help me out? Can you help me unload this Chief Bobber and this Harley Davidson motorcycle? Can you just give me a little love? So he's going to look at the numbers, the glimmer of hope. I think he'll probably buy the Chief Bobber. Now, Harley's going to probably be more of a challenge, but what I'm going to ask him, he's done this for me before. I'm going to say, would you just let me bring my Harley to your dealership and just put a showroom floor and just let it sell? He did that for me a time before. but it was the same story. I had a CVO. The CVOs are the worst. When you buy a CVO, you're stuck with them. I mean, the latest, greatest CVO ST, if I want to sell that, that will move rather quickly because I can price it right because I don't owe a ton of money on it. But I really don't want to sell that yet. I'm not there yet. So the thing is, for me, my good friend John, I think that he'll probably come to the table in the Chief Bobber. I think what will happen with the CVO in the trailer, I'll put it in the showroom. It'll get more in-person flair, and he's such a great guy. I don't know the answer, but I would think he'd just say, all right, man, just get rid of it, and you're a good friend of mine, and no, I'm not going to charge you anything to put it in my showroom and sell it. Now, here's breaking news. The Indian FTR is no longer being built. So, if the 2025 year is the last run. So that's something to think about, is this motorcycle was no longer going to be built. So it's the last year for it. So this thing, I don't owe a lot of money on it, but the problem is there's no value. So just to give you an example, this bike is basically a $15,000 to $16,000 motorcycle. Once you buy it, it's worth barely half of it. So John was telling me that thing's worth maybe $6,500. And I still owe like $9,000 on it. So it's like, oh boy, that's exciting. But, that's not a big note. That's not a big thing. And now, and John was like, he blows him away. He's like, so many people want this bike, but yet then so many people won't buy the bike. He's like, it's the weirdest motorcycle he's got in his showroom. And the Harleys are the worst, he said, because there's so many Harley Davidsons out in the marketplace. He said the problem with Harley is those things are the worst for resale value. Because they're just too many. He's like, those are the hardest ones for us to take in and sell because there's too many out there where people are just giving them away, walking away. So, well, with any luck, and now the Triumph, I can sell that outright on my own, but I'm just not there yet. I always have the glimmer of hope. Can I buy myself another day? Maybe I can't. I don't know. The one thing is, I'm getting ready to get busy into the busier time of year for my business. So the thing is, man, if I can just kind of hold on just a little longer, get through some more bumps, ride this thing out, I can possibly get things going back in the right direction. But I don't know. That's easier said than done. But the good news is, I'm now going into the second half of the year of my business. And the monies do start coming in, and then they really start to come in the fall months. If I can only buy myself another 2-3 months at a time, it's radical. I mean, I get a 30 to 40% raise in the fall months. So that changes everything as long as I can kind of try to make things work until then, but that's very challenging. And I've lost an employee that I used to pay every month. I've lost a child that I used to pay for all these toys every month. So those dynamics are now all playing out as well. So a lot of things are happening. It's weird at how life operates. And I'd like to share with you my stories because everybody has a hardship. Everybody has a story. And if you don't, you will. So for those that watch my channel, I'm sorry to announce this to you. I've already announced to anyone there watch my channel. If you haven't had hardships and sorrow and challenges, eventually they will come to you. You may not believe that, but I can assure you, it'll be something in your lifetime that happens that will change the way you look at life because you're not guaranteed this life, and all your friends and family aren't either. So sadly, for those that think you're riding on the high horse, that high horse doesn't stay as a high horse forever. So ask me how I know, because I'm 62 years old, and I've been around the block a few times, and I have friends and family, and I've witnessed a lot. I've witnessed it all. So you may think you have the most glorious future you could ever imagine, and poof, bam, instantly something changes, and that everything is all different. But I don't wish any harm to anybody. That does not get me off in life. Some people get off in life belittling others, being bigger and better than others. That's not who I am. Now we got to find Gypsy, because Gypsy's so fast, so sly, so quick. And there she is. She is so quick. And it's all about watching Gypsy is all it's about. So I'm going to shut the hell up for a minute, and then do I make another video? as I make my Chatty Cathy. I'm the new Chatty Cathy YouTube creator, as one subscriber says that I am. So, do I become a Kathy? I don't know. At least he didn't call me a Karen. I mean, I'd rather be Chatty Cathy than Karen. So, personally. All right, and there you go. And you know what's interesting too is for me, I do have I do have a lot of subscribers. Look at this here. What the hell they got now? So where did this come from? So like this right here, where the hell did they just get this item? Oh, they got it out of the back. No. They got it out of the back. 40. This just doesn't end. If these guys can't be destroying something, they're not having any fun. But anyways, the whole point is, I'm not ignorant to the fact that there's users on my channel that are no longer able to post. They're no longer, they've been silenced. So I'm no fool to know that some are going to come back, but it's not going to be the same username. And what would be interesting too is what I notice is it's the way they come across in their conversations, that it's like, yeah, but this is you all over again with a different username. And it's all right. I guess you love my channel that much. And I guess I hurt your feelings, and that isn't my goal by any means. It's not. That's not who I am. I don't intentionally want to hurt people's feelings. But there comes a fine line where eventually it's just a constant poking and jabbing that it's like, what are you doing here besides just wanting to be critical of me that makes you feel better? And I'm just not going to support it. So that's why I say you go bye-bye. Do you want me to start being critical of individuals on a daily basis? I can start calling out certain subscribers that maybe I don't think are the nicest subscribers. I just talk them all day and jab them and punch them and comment on them. I mean, that wouldn't be right. So there it is. I'll shut the hell up. Kathy needs a drink. Coffee, that is.